Good morning. Today's topic was inspired by talking to my sister that's 2 years younger than me and my sister that is the youngest of the bunch, and how they were both talking about a book called Your God is Too Safe. And it got me to thinking that in light of everything in today's society, it's not so much that our God is too safe, our God is too nice. I don't know, probably most of us who have read this, or no, read this, how do you read the transcript on a podcast? But anyway, except for the, my description and the description page. But all the people who are watching this, I am sure, have heard the phrase, don't talk to me in that tone of voice, or watch how you speak to me, or something to that effect. But it got me to thinking that, like, well, one, that God's expectations are, it doesn't matter how we speak it, it's God's expectations are God's expectation. Just because a person says things in a way that is not the way you want to hear it doesn't mean that's not the expectation. Um, and and the fact that too, we look at the stories in the Bible about Jesus overturning tables, Jesus confronting the scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites, like even the interaction with the rich young ruler, and different things like that. We teach it like he's being nice about it, and he very well may be, and he probably is, actually, to be more accurate, but he's not saying things in a way that most people today would probably like it. Because I remember growing up, if I did something was going to be harmful to me or harmful to other people, usually my parents would speak a little bit more firmly. They would speak a little bit more stern about it, because they understand the ramifications of the decisions that we make. They understand how harmful it can be, because they've been there. And so, and God has, God has seen it all. He was there at the start of creation. He will be there until the very end of time, because he's omniscient, omnipresent, and he's you can't kill God. So when he warns us, and he's a little bit more stern, that's not being nice. That's being, hey, you're going to get yourself in trouble if you don't heed the warnings. And parents should not have to watch the way that they say it. I mean, outside of insults, if 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 a parent starts calling a kid names, that is not okay. That's verbal abuse. But if a person says, "Get out of the street," and do it now, that's not disrespectful. That is, I'm watching out for you, hoping that you'll heed these warnings without getting hurt. And I was talking to my youngest sister yesterday. She was like, about the topic, and she was saying about safety is like, and I got to thinking as far as nice versus safety, and because we as humans do want to be safe, but I mean both. I mean, everybody alike. None of us like to be in a hostile work environment. None of us like to be in any hostile situations or any life threatening situations. That's across the board. I'm sure we can all agree upon that. But one thing that I distinguish between nice and safe is without thinking about it. The nicer a person is, the less safe we think they are. Just without thinking about it. I mean, it now whether or not that's true, it's probably not. But it's just we're conditioned to believe that way. I personally believe the nicer a person is, the more safe they can be, because as long as they are genuine, okay, I'm safe enough in with this person. They respect me enough to know that if my life were in danger, they would make sure they did everything they could to protect me. But nonetheless, just like I mean, when it comes to our lives, we don't want we don't necessarily want to be around someone who's just nice. I mean, yeah, we want someone to feel like we want to feel safe. We want to feel safe around God, and we want to know that He has our best interests at heart. Just like people want to know that we have the they and we that people have the best interests at heart as well. But so as far as we serve a loving God, even when He's not necessarily nice. Like I was talking to a friend of mine. We don't understand. We won't understand God's grace until we understand His justice. It's kind of like the old saying I remember hearing, that God doesn't want to punish sin, but He has to punish sin. And that's exactly it. He never punishes us to the full extent that we deserve, or none of us would follow Him. But He's not being nice when He punishes us for our sin, but he's keeping us safe by doing so. And so we want a God who's tough. We want a God who's loving. We want a God who's just and watches out for our well-being, even when we don't think He is. But we want to. But yeah, so there's nothing that a person can say that will do justice to to the goodness of God, and to the fact, to the fact that He's always watching out for us. Even though we can't see Him, He's always watching. But that is it from here. I just wanted to share that with y'all. God bless. Have a great week, and hopefully next week, unless God changes things up again, which He does, maybe next week I'll be able to do a study on end times. Like I've said before, I love doing the study of the end times, because we're living in it, and it's a fascinating study. And comment, subscribe, like, do whatever you want to do, as long as it's respectful, and it helps us to grow and become better as people. Take it easy.